Hey guys, taking a look back at Hytale's NPCs, we're actually going to go through a few things today. From the different types of concept art that was shown throughout the Hytale website, we are actually going to be going through the NPC section. So if you guys want to leave a like or a comment down below on some of the other things you want to see about Hytale in the near future, please leave the comment there. Alright, so first thing we're going to get to is the Quebecs. The first thing that we actually know about the Quebecs is really this little concept art that's presented first. And those are some of the sketches and some of the things that are shown about the Quebecs. And it looks like they can somewhat defend themselves as they have weapons in the first little concept art. And it's actually pretty cool. So just reading from the actual website itself, we're going to start right here. In Hytale, NPC factions form societies with their own culture, habits, block set, and role to play in the story. First, let's get to know some of Hytale's friendlier inhabitants, Quebecs, who will become some of your earliest allies. Let's take a look at an example of Quebecs at home. The screenshot below shows several aspects of the Quebec block set, as well as the various stages of the Quebec life cycle, from sprouting seedlings to autumnal elders. So, as we can see, there's sort of an aging system inside of Hytale, which is pretty cool. So, NPCs do age, and they have various ways to age. And you can see on the right-hand side right there that there's the little seedlings, and then on the left you can kind of see, I guess it would be a child or a toddler, and then there's an average adult in the dead center, and then we have an elder on the very left. So it's pretty cool. So we have a lot that we can learn from the Quebecs just by taking a look at the game from this point of view, or just looking on the site. This life cycle is an important part of the story of the Quebecs. As they age, they grow slower and slower until they stop moving completely, release a burst of energy, and become much more like the trees they resemble. When an elderly Quebec adopts this new form, their seeds fall to the ground and form the basis of the next generation. Young Quebecs never get to meet their parents. Instead, they learn about their history from tree singers. These are elders who tend to these young seedlings as they take their first steps into the world. This isn't just a story that you'll read about. It's an important part of how Quebecs operate in the game. So, as we can also see, is the way that Quebecs are formed inside of the game are from when the Quebecs are fully grown, which is pretty cool. So, we can see a lot of things from the website once again, and small little things here. So, the second thing that we're actually introduced to is the Troorks, I guess. I had struggled trying to figure out what it is, but I'm going to say it's the Troorks. And there was also, because of Hytale is going to have something called a creative mode, and then they're also going to have an adventure mode. So in the creative mode, you can create your own games, mini-games, all sorts of other things. And for Troorks in this case, there are different Troorks that you can use inside of your games, but they will also be available in the adventure mode. Now a Troork is in various forms, and as you can see there's about 5 types from the concept art. But let's go ahead and read some of the things that they've said about the Troorks. Troorks make for formidable enemies and come in many shapes and sizes. Hytale's NPCs are modular, and this means that we can create lots of variations of the same basic creature. In the concept art above, you can see several different Troork classes, from eagle-eyed sentries to powerful chieftains. Each of these Troork types has a different pattern of behavior, and this is reflected in the way they look and act in-game. And also, they left us a second picture that we can actually take a look at and see some of the cool things they have over here. And honestly, the hunter looks really cool, having the little wolves over there, or you can kind of see the wolves in the background, and those kind of, I guess those would go hand in hand with a lot of with this group particular, which is really, really cool. So the actually next section that they have, when you rush into battle against a band of Chorks, you'll want to pay attention to all the different types of foe you're facing. We're using Chorks as an example here, but lots of Hytale NPC factions work this way. There are lots of different subtypes to discover, and with in-game scripting and Hytale Model Maker, you'll be able to create or customize your own NPC variations too. So again, they're making reference to the create. So we're going to be able to create our own games, and we're going to be able to script our own games, and possibly make mini games for the near future. Animals. So there's like a whole nother section dedicated to animals, and there is only one animal in particular that they put a lot of emphasis on. And that was the saber-toothed tiger, which they actually showed 2 pictures, and they even showed some of the behavior in the second photo. But for the first section, this is what they wrote. Animals are one of the key ways that we're creating a sense of interactivity in the world of Hytale. You'll have lots of opportunities to hunt, domesticate, and raise animals yourself, but we're working on systems that allow animals to interact with each other in interesting ways too. And that is when they present us with the photo of the saber-tooth about to pounce on the gazelles. These saber-toothed tigers hunt in packs, prowling through the undergrowth to get the drop on prey animals. Understanding this behavior is very important if you want to hunt them yourself or just stay out of their way. So I'm guessing because the Chorks were customizable in the scripting, in the game scripting, we will have the opportunity to mess around with behaviors of animals as well as how they look and the variations. So keep that in mind as we're going through some of these. Whether wild or domestic, we've tried to ensure that animals behave intuitively. Little chicks will follow a mother hen, for example, and grown chicks will jealously guard their eggs. Expect to get pecked if you steal one from a chicken that isn't familiar with you. If you create a safe environment for your chickens, a coop, for example, then you're more likely to be able to gather the eggs without a fuss. There are a lot of these interactions to discover as you explore, and in each of them, we hope makes the world feel that little bit more alive. And it's really cool. So the game's very diverse, and you can already see there's a lot of interactions in between the different animals, which I think is really, really cool for a game like this. And the last thing we're going to go over is actually the monsters. A tough challenge awaits. Alongside the wide roster of characters and creatures to discover in Hytale's open sandbox, we're also implementing a set of hand-designed boss encounters and combat challenges. These work slightly differently to the creatures you'll encounter elsewhere. Each is designed for a specific environment and takes planning to defeat. Boss encounters are intended to add depth to the game, whether you're playing solo or taking them on with a group of friends. It usually won't be enough to simply show up with strong armor and a weapon that does a load of damage. You're going to have to learn how each monster operates in order to overcome them. We want these encounters to be a surprise, so we're going to avoid spoiling too many of them before you get a chance to play the game yourself. Needless to say, there are worse things than giant spiders lurking in the Hytale's deepest depths. So I'm really excited to see the rest of this game because there is so much that they're not telling us, and they even have some other things on the site that I didn't want to show because they had little gifts that I think you guys would enjoy taking a look at. So definitely go on to the Hytale news section and look at the Get to Know Hytale's NPCs and check it out there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.